Senate spokesperson Senator Yemi Adaramodu has lamented that many constituents now expect their representatives to function as personal benefactors, funding naming ceremonies, building homes, and solving everyday domestic needs in a move that underscores the mounting social pressures facing lawmakers. Adaramodu, who chairs the Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, spoke during an interview on Friday where he challenged public assumptions about the role and responsibilities of elected legislators. We go home almost every time and we're at the ones. When they give birth to a new baby, they ask for naming ceremony funds. When they are building a new house, it is from us they ask for assistance, he said. The lawmaker representing Ekiti South Senatorial District argues that this unrelenting demand from constituents goes far beyond the constitutional responsibilities of lawmakers. Yet it has become an unwritten rule of engagement in Nigerians' political culture. Adaramodu made the remarks while responding to debate on whether Nigeria's National Assembly, comprising 109 senators and 360 members of the House of Representatives, should operate on a part-time basis to cut costs. To him, he said such move would not only be impractical, but a direct threat to the foundation of Nigeria's democracy. Please, let's get your thoughts as a legal practitioner. What do you make of this part-time parliament? First off, yes, that has been a move that they've been put there in order to cut costs. And he is saying there should not be that, because when the costs are cut, that means democracy is being cut short. And we've already had discussions on democracy, and you've outlined your analysis on democracy and how democracy is functioning in the country. He listed his reasons as constituents coming to ask for money and all of that, which we know if you're a representative of your constituency, you have a role to play in that instance, but that's by the way. But let's get your thoughts on this part-time parliament, please.
He is not presenting the whole truth. Daramodu or what? He's only hyping the statement. He's just making a hype of what is not real. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you been to... Okay, let me say, how many times have you been to the office or the house of your senator or House of Rep member or House of Assembly member representing you? How often do you go there, you?
I've never been to anyone.
It's not true. What he's saying is not true. Let me tell you one thing. It is difficult for an ordinary citizen to approach these men. It's very difficult. Number one, you don't even know their itinerary, when they are around and when they are not around. You don't know. All of them are there in Abuja. When they visit their communities, it's on a function which they are guided by their several heads and security operatives. When does the ordinary Nigerian, ordinary citizens, go to approach them for all these things? Everybody are still approaching them as their party men. I give my thoughts on that.
Yes, sir.
So what he's saying is he's just hyping the talk. That's not true. The ordinary people, the ordinary citizens don't have access to them. So they are not telling us the whole truth. He is only saying this thing to create an impression that they have serious things they are doing which will not be well coordinated on a part-time basis, and that they are spending more than they should spend, be that they use it to help the grassroots. That's what he's telling you, that when they want to do naming ceremony, they come to them to beg for money. And I said that's not true. They should mention one person. Politicians are inaccessible to the citizens.
So if you're saying that in essence, are you saying that they should consider the part-time parliament in order to cut?
That is the best.
Cut cost.
Or if you are not going to do it part-time, let it be remove remuneration to them. Put it in how some other nations are doing their own. You only take sitting allowance. You take sitting allowance, not all these kind of. My dear, if you see the amount these people take, if you calculate it in a monthly, it's much. We learned that the senators take close to 21 million. When you put all their this, that, this and that for a month, it's almost 21 million. Then the House of Rep take close to 17 million. So it's this calculated by times 12 for one person, then multiplied by 360. 306, or rather, for House of Rep, then 109 times 12, 21 million times 12 times 109 of them. The kind of money this people, and that one alone is not also constituency project money that they attract to themselves. They use the project for themselves, and not for the community, and not for the constituency. So make this thing in such a way, let them go and take only sitting allowance. You take sitting allowance for the times you attended.
So are you saying that most of these senators, representatives, do not do most of what this Senate spokesperson has stated?
The only thing they do is when they come back home, when they want people to feel their impact, they just organize one party or the other and feed people. They commonalize. That's the thing. Not that individuals go assess them. That's the thing I'm trying to let you know.
Okay.
Individuals don't have access to these people. It's not easy to assess a politician. I know a few politicians have tried to assess in this state. That it was not too easy. So it's not. I'm. How much less some of these people? It's not easy. It's not at all. To assess these people, it's not easy.
So you're saying that they should only be paid for each sitting.
Yes, and they should be paid sitting allowance.
Sitting allowance, and they should. You said you talked about remuneration on that instance. Can you elaborate on the remuneration aspect?
Eliminate remuneration and all these allowances that they accrue to themselves, and let what do you call it, legislative work be on sitting allowance. They should take sitting allowance only, and they should not be on salary, payroll.
So the funds that will be, because this part-time parliament is just, as they've stated in Senate, is to reduce cost. So those funds that are being reduced, what would they be used for? Although yes, there was a particular part. I know you've talked about I'm digressing a little bit about funds. I just remembered something. The subsidy removal funds, where the government have reacted on that aspect and said most of them have been used for the most of provisions of infrastructure and all of that. Yes, and that's on the other side. Yes, and that's what I wanted to just put that there. And then the question now is, if we're talking about reduction of funds in that instance, because that's how subsidy also operates. Yes, most of these funds are being used for something. Then in this aspect, what would these funds be used for?
These funds they are borrowing. instead of going to borrow again, they will now use these ones.
Okay, instead of borrowing funds from IMF and other
All the
countries.
places they say they are borrowing.
Okay.
You now
I
utilize
mean
these
World
ones.
Bank.
From
Instead
World
of borrowing from World Bank and other countries,
You
then
now
they
use
should
these
use
ones.
to, okay.